What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's the Real Sports Science Podcast. I'm David. He's Matt. 31. Let's go.
That was hectic.
I ran out of time. I didn't have time to say episode 31, so I just yelled numbers at the end.
Episode.
I'm David. He's Matt. 31.
That's class. Nah, that's intensity though. That's some intensity.
How
are you doing, David?
I'm good. Yeah, it's just you and me this time. It's been a while. I was thinking. I think it's been 5 episodes in a row that we've had guests on, which is a little yeah. My brain is steaming. It's gonna take me probably like 3 weeks of just a debrief to just get in all the knowledge that we just listened to for the last. I was thinking today. I think on my bike home from the uni, like I think I just need to start re-listening to our episodes.
Oh yeah,
because I think it's tough. Like when you're in, and when you're in it, it's. I don't think because we're focused on like making sure the interview runs smoothly. We always have our questions. We're also thinking about other questions. So sometimes, especially online, it's hard to have like a really good flowing conversation where you can actually take in what they're saying. You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
And then when you're editing it,
you're just it's a weird one.
Yeah, and then when you're editing it, you're listening, but you can't just sit and just listen and digest it because you're trying to get it out, have it sound good. Yeah, because last week with Seb was just unbelievable. And I've been like just making small clips for Instagram the last few days. And just like, I've made probably 5 or 6 clips out of the first like 15 minutes of the episode. It's just, and I haven't even started making clips.
At, rugby.
Come on. Yeah. How's that been? How's it been?
Oh,
I saw we got
a couple new. Why are you getting so nervous?
That's so funny. You're like, well, I don't do any work anyway, so that's why.
Yeah, I was like, guys, please. It's scary. It's scary. It's kind of scary still.
I just love that we started off. I love we started off the podcast with him saying, "If somebody calls me that one more time, I'm out of here." 2 minutes in. Yeah. 2 minutes in, and he almost walks off.
That's quick and easy, though. It would have been the quickest podcast we would have ever done, eh?
Yeah,
just
that's
bang,
it.
Bang, out, sweet.
See ya.
Log off easily. But yeah, no. Whilst you've been smashing it behind the scenes though with CNP, and whilst I've been away in Croatia, how was that? All of that? Give me a rundown. Give me a catch up, David.
Because
we barely talk anymore.
I know. Yeah, we barely talk. It's just all business. No pleasure anymore with Matt and I. It's just all business. I'm just trying to think. Easter, you left out Easter. I went on a boating trip with the boys. That was really fun. Came back 3 days on the broads with the boys. Good times. Ate nothing but burgers, drank nothing but beer. So felt that for a little bit. Needed a couple days to recover. And then, the next week was pretty hectic. I was down in London for one day, and then Friday I went up to Manchester because CNP, if you've been following us on Instagram, you see CNP did that collab with Project D Donuts, and they came out with 3 donut-inspired flavors. And they had like a product launch day, kind of like content creation day up in Manchester at Train Manchester, and it was so much fun. So like I went up there. I got there, like everyone got there at kind of 8. They had like a bunch of influencers and stuff come up there, and they did some challenges, and I missed that because I was taking the train up, so I didn't get there until 12:30. But then it was like chill. We hung out. A bunch of people did content. There's a guy, Luke Stoney, there, and he's like this crazy gymnast who just does crazy gymnastic stuff. And so he was doing like this challenge of the push-up challenge to see how many plates you can like do a jump push-up onto, and we did like 1 plate, everyone made that 2 plates, and we just kept going up and up and up until I think I bowed out at 13 plates, and then he did one more at 14. Yeah, it's crazy. And then we just had like a CrossFit workout. Yeah, and people could like come and do the CrossFit workout. It was awesome. It was really, really fun. Great to meet like CNP people. So Courtney was there. Obviously, and then John was there. So it was great to meet him. I met Mark. I met Mark because we interviewed him. What episode was that?
Oh
20,
yeah,
23,
24.
23, 24. Off the dome, Matt.
Mate,
Jeez, that Canucks jersey
knowledge.
is making you
I
smart.
90% of me knows I got it wrong, but I'm confident.
I'm pretty sure it's
24.
24. Yeah. Yeah, so I met Mark.
Stupid.
That was amazing. Yeah, so it was really great meeting people, but I'm going to be honest, it was a huge learning curve. Like I felt so out of my depth just because
Mm.
like the people there were like influencers. Like like tens of thousands of followers on Instagram doing like TikTok lives, Instagram lives, making vlogs. Their like videographer was there. They were like doing vlogs, pieces of
Okay.
content, and I'm there like, let me film with my iPhone. So it
Yeah.
was unreal. It was just
Mate, they
like
haven't met Ewan yet. They haven't met Ewan,
they have.
our videographer.
That's what I'm saying. I needed you and you in there because then we could have been like, right, this is what we're doing. We're making content. Bap, 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 you know. So it was
Yeah.
unbelievable. So fun to meet everyone. It was just like a huge learning curve. I felt a bit out of my depth just because that was the first time I've ever done something like that. Really excited to do it again
Mm.
because now, like, okay, this is how it goes. Let's just get in there. And I guess like once you're at the beginning of like vlogging and stuff, I don't know, for me at least, you feel super self conscious about like videoing and you're like talking to your videos. You're like, yeah, even though like literally everyone's doing it there. So
Yeah,
I,
it might be like a little judgment thing. I don't know. Like everyone's like, why is he talking to like his followers when I've got my followers? I don't know actually. To be fair, I wasn't even there. I was I was
yeah, no,
AWOL.
exactly, yeah. And the
Um,
thing is, no one was thinking that because like I met some people, met some great people. They're like, oh, what do you do? I was like, oh, I got this podcast. That's why we're here. And they're like, oh, amazing. Talk to them about it. So they're like, no one's thinking that. So it's purely just a me insecurity
oh,
thing.
that's class.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
was unreal.
Oh,
Really
fair enough.
excited to do more stuff. Hopefully. So how about you? How was
Yeah.
Croatia?
Juice. Oh, it was
Man was
good. It was good. But
living the
I
life.
can't lie. It was yeah, no, it was nice. We went kayaking. Uh, that's about it. Nah, it was nice just visiting the country, but I was missing the rugby, so I managed to make it back in time. Well, obviously missed the big game against Sevenoaks, but I managed to make it in time for the last game of the season, which we won. But I just like it didn't hit me until I think it was the next day, and I was like, well, I've got nothing to look forward to now on a Saturday. Like we're done. And it
My
was yeah, it
weekends are
just allowed me to reflect
just
really.
sadness now.
Yeah, yeah. I can't live through rugby players anymore. I actually have to realize that I'm not a rugby player myself. Shocker. But no, like it just helped me realize. I just sat there and I was just reflecting, and yeah, it went by really quickly. But it was quite funny to think about all these little moments I remember from the start of the season when I knew none of the lads' their names. I knew none of their names, and I had no confidence going into it. I'd be like, guys, all right, we're gonna go pogos now. And now I'm like, okay, if anyone's watching this from the rugby team, please don't, have a go at me. But now I think I'm more assertive there. I won't be too cocky.
Please.
I think I'm more assertive. Um,
It was
but no,
all
it's
to Seb that
the
one
things
day
that I've
being
changed.
like, I want you to have a hoarse throat after this session.
Yeah, yeah.
After
Oh,
that, you're
mate.
like, say less.
Yeah, no, it was
Say less, Seb.
yeah. Say less. It was quite interesting. I can't lie. It was nice to see how far I've come. Nice to see how the methods I've changed when programming, when the warm ups, how I realize, how I think. Well, I don't know, but I personally think that I've been quicker on my feet when stuff's gone wrong, and I've been able to react quicker and then sort of be like, okay, crap, we don't have this. Let's just go with that sort of method. Oh, this guy's got a pulled hammy. Our session's gone out the window. Let's see if we can do it like this. So it's really nice to just reflect for a bit, and I'm already looking into the next season, starting planning now. But yeah, no, that's it from me.
Do you have
While we've been,
an example of what you could think of, like an example of maybe at the beginning of the season when you weren't really quick on your feet, and an example at the end of the season when you were?
yeah, so we had small numbers at one of the training sessions, and I carried on my training, my warm up that I usually do, and it was like the what's it, the mindset of everyone was a bit like, okay, there's only what like 15 of us instead of the normal 25 that turn up or 30 that turn up. They were like already down, and I just said, all right, lads, back on the line, like did the normal warm up I usually do, Whereas if I had adapted, which I did later in the season, I adapted and changed up the warm up, making sure everyone's a lot closer. Because normally we spread out on the line like a standard rugby warm up, and when there's 30, it still makes everyone having conversations. But when it's 15, it still feels a bit lost. So what I did was just bringing the lads tied, so we had a little bit of a fun game, so it just raised the spirits up.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was quite interesting, just
That's
to
sweet.
reflect on.
That is cool. Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
but while we've been like doing our own things, the sporting world's been doing their own things as well. And we're here we haven't done it in a while, but just to give a little bit of a update on the sporting world and how they're getting on.
Yeah.
Recently, very recently, two recent things just to touch on. Tank Davis beats Garcia with an unbelievable liver shot. I watched this fight, obviously the highlights the day after, and to be fair, I didn't have a winner. I didn't mind who won, but it was just a very, very interesting fight. People say Garcia came into the fight injured. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but yeah, he just got rocked. I mean, the level difference was apparent. It was quite scary, but yeah. So Davis won, and Wrexham go back up to the EFL. Oh, sorry.
Can we just? We're just gonna not skip past the fact that this guy's name is Tank.
No. Sorry. His actual name. So that's his boxing name. His actual name is Javonta Davis. But yes, like boxing name's Javonta the Tank Davis.
Oh, you see how little I know about boxing. I'm sat here like this guy's name is Tank, and somebody fought him. What an idiot!
Javonta Tank Davis. There you go. Yeah.
How do you get that? What?
Mate, naming
what
your son
I need?
Tank.
That's a power move. Power move.
That'd be cool.
Imagine you name your son Tank, and he's just unathletic, not like just underwhelming
David's son's
child.
Called Tank. Mine's called like F-22 Raptor. There you go. Some plane knowledge for you guys.
Oh, it's so embarrassing that I fully just thought his name was Tank. What do you need to do? What do you need to do in your boxing career to get the name Tank?
Massive knockout artist, so I think that helps.
Just get him on the podcast. Ask him when the name Tank came around.
We'll do it in a couple weeks. I think we'll be able to get him on.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get our manager on it. Matt, you email him.
Nice, sick. But yeah, no. In the other one, it was Wrexham go back to the EFL. So Wrexham, obviously the big, I mean, they got famous really quickly because their owners are Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. So they are both the owners, and yeah, I mean, just watching little clips from that game when they won, the fans rushed the field, everyone's celebrating. Ryan Reynolds is on call FaceTime with his wife. And kid just showing them the game, and it was crazy. It was nice to see, and then tears in the eyes. So yeah, they're back up to the EFL, which is going to be amazing.
What's the EFL? What, Elite Football League?
English Football League. English.
I'm just dropping the ball. I'm 0 for 2. I'm 0 for 2 on the podcast now.
Every time you question me, I brick myself. I can't lie. Yeah, English Football League. What, yeah, sorry, I got to make sure because I'm scared. One time I made a mistake by commenting on one thing, and then two Danish people rinsed me for the rest of.
That's okay. That's okay. We almost lost an episode guest because I called him the wrong nickname. So I don't know which one's worse. Although he didn't leave, so it worked out
fine. But those were little bite-sized sporting news. What was the big one? Well, there's two big ones. One's big for me, but yeah, what's the biggest one out of all that's just come out?
I think
our best mate from Loughborough,
Sebastian Coe,
really
who's the? I think you're talking about Seb Coe, not me. Appreciate it though. Sebastian Coe, president of World Athletics Committee. They just released kind of a statement, and there's been a few releases of it kind of over the months. I think British Athletics released a statement in the end of March, basically to do with transgender regulations. So World Athletics came out with a statement saying that transgender women are ineligible to compete in the female category, which is obviously big news. I mean, it doesn't matter which way that goes; it's big news, and obviously, like, just starts a massive conversations.
But yeah, so like a clip, a little short snippet of BBC Sport says that under previous rules, World Athletics required transgender women to reduce their amount of blood testosterone to a maximum of 5 nmol per liter and stay under this threshold continuously for a period of 12 months before competing in the female category. The council has agreed to set up a working group for 12 months to further consider the issue of transgender inclusion. An independent chair will lead the group, while it will also include up to 3 council members, 2 athletes from the Athletes Commission, a transgender athlete, 3 representatives of World Athletics member federations, and representatives of the World Athletics Health and Science Department. It will consult specifically with transgender athletes, as well as review and commission research and put forward recommendations to the council.
As like early researchers, I think what's important for me, no matter what way it goes, is that we stay somewhat like rooted in science and what physiology says. And I think
Yeah.
the World Athletics and the UK Athletics came up with a statement. They said that um, they've gone and said that if you've gone through male puberty, even though, like, right now the science says, if you've gone through male puberty, even if after you've transitioned, you're female and your testosterone is at regular female levels, because you've gone through male puberty, you still have all of those advantages from going through male puberty,
Hmm.
even though now your testosterone's much lower. And I think that's a big reason
Yeah.
why they've decided to go and say that if you've gone through male puberty, you're ineligible to compete in the female category, as a way to protect the
Hmm.
female category. I read something and I can't find it, which is really, really unfortunate. There was a thought about going back, because before females were even allowed to compete in athletes, there was no in athletics. Sorry, there was no male or female category. It was just an open category, but only males competed. And so I heard, or not heard, but I read something where the idea was possibly to even go back to that. So there wouldn't be a male category and a female category. There would be a female category, um, for females who haven't gone through male puberty, and an open category that would be reserved for basically anyone, and they could compete in that, and that would allow the female category to be fair, and that open category to also be fair, and kind of reserve the female category again, like I said, for females who haven't gone through male puberty. And as a scientist, like, I would agree with that. Everything that I've read so far points towards males physiologically having, even if you're looking at a male and a female, like, body match, so they're the same size, things like muscle mass and lung capacity, even for size matched males and females, males have bigger lungs. Males have, on average, more muscle mass, even if you take a female and a male that are the same size. So physiologically, science, what science has shown me, as far as what I've read, and I haven't read everything, but from what I've read and what I've seen, what I've learned is that males have that physiological advantage, and it would be unfair if you've gone through male puberty to be able then to compete against females who haven't. So I definitely agree. I agree with it. I think it's just so difficult, and then it's a matter of, okay, well, how do we make then sport inclusive so that people don't feel excluded? Because at the end of the day, we want it to be fair and inclusive. And how do we do
Oh,
that both ways? You know?
I was just about to say that. Like, I think at the end
Yeah.
of all of this, you just want to make sure that everyone feels that their category is saved. I mean, that's what I'd want. I want everyone, I don't want them to be excluded. I want
Yeah.
everyone to be included, but I want it to be done right in the sense that no party, obviously, you can have some outliers that get a bit pissy, but like, no party just feels like they're getting done wrong. by anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, it's massive.
It's so difficult.
And
And
you know, talking about
we've talked about it before. Sorry, about just like again, just having the conversations and how important conversations are. And I hopefully, this just kind of, I know it's going to spark a lot of people like getting mad and getting angry, and even people who agree with the decision of going like, yeah, this is the right because of this and that, and being really nasty, and that's really too bad because hopefully, because what I would love to see is just people coming together and having conversations, understanding each other more, and okay, well, this is the decision. How can we move forward and still make sport inclusive? Because at the end of the day, like sport is amazing and it should bring people together. And hopefully, this is just a step on again to making it fair and inclusive. So that's all I got to say.
and I mean, you said it then. Sport is definitely amazing, David. So I mean, what better way to set us up for our next topic? What were your top 3 biggest, most prolific, most amazing sporting moments? We'll go one for one. We'll go one for one.
One for one, little you go, I go situation.
Yeah. Do you want me to go first?
You go first. You go first. Yeah.
Um, I love how I pretended as if I was thinking of one. I already have one, obviously. What one was it? What one was it?
I wrote
No.
the question.
Yeah. I'd say for my own, a massive one was when South Africa won the 1995 World Cup. Because there's a famous part where they came, like, I mean, the country was divided between, the blacks and the whites, and apartheid was a massive thing, and it took one great leader, Nelson Mandela, to unite the whole country essentially through sport. And I mean, yeah, it was huge. I mean,
How am I supposed to follow
you
up
know,
with that? Let's just end it there. What was that?
No. I've got another one that will
What
make
was
it
that?
fun. But no, that one was massive. I'd say that would be my top one. It was pretty cool. I know I don't have a South African accent, but being, my dad being South African, half South African, it was pretty cool. To have that. And my grandpa's got 2 World Cup hats from when he watched it on that day, and you had this
That's sick.
massive A380 plane, massive plane with "Go Boca" written on the bottom, just fly right
No
over
way.
the stadium, and they won it. And then a famous quote from that game was at the end when he's getting questioned, interviewed live, and he said, "How did it feel having 43,000 South Africans with you? Being the South Africans at the stadium?" And he goes, Francois Pienaar says to everyone, he goes, "Here, but like," he goes, "Look, we didn't have 43,000. We had 63 million or something number. We had 63 million South Africans supporting us." And then everyone was just like, "Yeah," screaming. It's amazing. I'll see if I can post it here, or maybe in like a later reel.
Or just
But
on
yeah,
our
massive.
social
It was
media.
amazing. Yeah, true. Just me.
You always do that. You always do.
Um,
Here. And I'm not putting it there, Matt. I'm not editing that in there. Just go to our
You should just start
Instagram.
putting anything you want
No,
in there.
no,
Just
but it's right
ready.
there.
Put me scoring the winning try.
Yeah. Matt sucks.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
Yeah. It's not here, Matt.
Anyways, David, what was your one?
Well, after that, jeez. I was gonna say personally for me in my sporting career, the one that pops to mind was I was probably like 11, I think. Ooh, yeah, I was 11. It was my last year playing football in Canada though, so it was soccer. Sorry, English people. Um, and I was the backup goalie on our team, and we in that year we were playing a year up too, so we were kind of big deals. And anyways, our goalie got hurt on the same play that the other team got a penalty kick. So I came into the game
Okay.
while it was 0-0 on a penalty kick. And I saved it. Saved the penalty kick. We end up winning the game 1-0, which then led us into the champion game, which I was the goalie for. We won that gold medal. Boom. That's one that sticks out.
And the interviewer came up to you, David, and he went, "David, how did it feel having 100 million Canadians behind you?" And you went, "Nah, I didn't have 100 million Canadians. I had 5 family members. They came to watch me and they loved it."
Yeah, exactly. There's not even 100
Mate,
million
that is
Canadians.
awesome. Yeah, what is the number? Mate, my number knowledge is amazing. Don't you doubt that.
There's like
Canadian
37 million in Canada.
38.25,
Oh,
David, get it right, okay?
shoot.
All
Don't
right.
even know my own country.
So I
How
was
embarrassing.
technically I was closer, right?
Yeah,
Um,
that's how it works.
what would my next one be? I'm
Just
doing
shut
world podcast. Oh, I'm doing world sporting. So I think my next one would be Usain Bolt. I think that would have to be a massive one. When he,
When?
by the way, do you know what
You
annoys me?
can't
Like
just say
two
Usain
things, two
Bolt.
things. Yeah, Usain Bolt just great. I love him. Now, when he beat the world record in Beijing at the Bird's Nest,
Mhm.
two things that one thing that annoyed me and one thing that I get why he did it, but why didn't he just continue sprinting maximally until the finish line instead of posing? Right? That annoys me because imagine the time he could have got.
Was
Second
that
of
the
all,
one
just to combat
where
my
the
own thinking.
Canadian Desjardins is like next to him? Is it Desjardins? I forget his name.
Oh, I'm not sure about that to be fair.
Anyway, there's a picture where
I
like
thought.
I think he slows up and there's the Canadian right next to him, and the Canadian's
Oh,
like
really?
and Usain Bolt's like,
Mate. Oh no,
I don't know
it
if that's
wasn't
the
that one.
same
It's
one.
the one where he just turns and then he's just like I don't know if it's that one actually. But anyways, regardless, the guy just starts like jogging, not
Yeah,
jogging, but like he slows down a bit and
but
just
jogging.
celebrates. And I'm like, you know what? Fair
Yeah,
play.
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of cool, gangster. So I'll allow it. You know,
That's how you
Usain,
know
I
he's
got
won.
you.
That's how you know he's won so many like world titles and gold medals. He just doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's like, I would actually
but that was
rather
his
get a
first
good
one.
photo. I well, no,
That was his first one. So like, it's just as in like first. What do you call it? His first
like Olympic gold.
world record,
Oh,
gold
it's
medal.
first.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and he slowed
What?
down. Fair play.
He just knew. He's like, don't want it this
Um,
time. Get it next time.
ooh, David, I'm gonna read this out to you. Sorry, just completely blindsided what we're trying to do here with the top three
Come
moments. But
on.
I just had a little
Okay.
quick search because I wanted to see what Google said. Right.
Yeah.
The first thing that popped up is the Miracle on
What?
Ice.
No, wait,
Do you know about this?
wait. What did you Google?
Greatest sporting moments of all time.
Oh, let me guess. Miracle on Ice when the U.S. beat Russia in hockey for the first time.
Juice knowledge. When Russia beat Russia in 1980 Olympics, despite fielding a team consistently mostly of amateurs.
I think that was in Salt Lake
Okay.
City, right?
Ooh, I'm not
Was
sure.
it in Salt Lake City?
Bringing up knowledge. You know what? Actually, David, go on. Tell me your next one, and then I'll go. I'll read a what do you call it? I'll read someone else's
Okay.
top whatever.
My next one that sticks out would be from the Vancouver Canucks because they're my favorite ice hockey team. And for 3 years, they would meet the same Vancouver Canucks, Matt,
Sorry, mate.
favorite ice hockey team
Up,
as well.
up the
Come
lads.
on, Matt,
Up
because
the
you're
lads.
an avid Canucks fan, you'll know this story by heart as well. Uh, anyways, for 3 years in the
All that.
playoffs, the the Canucks couldn't beat the Chicago Blackhawks. Like they would get to the playoffs, they'd get to Game
Sorry,
7.
David. Black Hawks? Did you say?
Blackhawks.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
sick. Carry on.
Chicago Blackhawks.
just for our listeners, just making sure, David, because you do have a tendency to like slip on like a bunch of things, you know. So there was just about like 8 of those, 5 of the Blackhawks players were just on the. Blackhawks players were on the field.
I was like, what do you mean, Matt? Oh. Black Hawks
Matt, just take me out back and finish. Yeah,
players.
go on,
Yeah.
no, go on, carry on.
Anyways, we couldn't beat them for 3 years. For 3 years, we'd get to Game 7 in the playoffs, to be like the first or second round, and we couldn't beat them. We'd lose. And 4th year, we're like, this is our year. We're beating the Chicago Blackhawks. Anyways, gets to game 7. We're up 2-1. I think we're up 2-1 with 5 minutes left in the third. We're like, we got this in the bag. They get a power play. The Blackhawks from Chicago get a power play with like 2 minutes left in the game, and they score, meaning it's going to overtime. And you'll be really familiar with this being an avid NHL fan. But for those who aren't, but excluding you, obviously, in the playoffs, and only in the playoffs, if it goes to overtime, they clean the ice and it's another period, another 20-minute period, stop time, and they just repeat that until someone scores. You know this. And because you know this, you would also know that I think that the longest playoff games has gone to 7 extra periods. So an actual game is 3
Bloody
periods.
hell.
And then they played 7 overtime periods. Anyways, that didn't happen. But anyways, I was so stressed. I think I was in Mexico at the time. Vacation with family, not a big deal. Humble brag. And we were, and I was so stressed. It was like 1 in the morning. It was going into, no, it wasn't 1 in the morning. What I'm talking about. It was regular time. It was like 10 p.m. going into overtime. I was stressed out. In my head, I was like, we're losing. This is what happens. Chicago's the bane of us. We're losing. Anyways, I'll never forget. They tried to clear the puck. The puck took a funky bounce off of the glass, came straight across the ice inside their blue line to Alex Burrows' stick. He comes in, partial breakaway, puck's on edge. You remember this. I know you're nodding, I can see. And takes the slap shot with the puck on edge, top right, scores. He goes mental. The crowd goes mental. I go mental. Anyways, that year was the year we beat the Chicago Blackhawks finally. That was the year we made it to the finals, and then we lost. So in the finals, game 7 against Boston.
Oh, no, I remember that year. Yeah. No, I remember.
Year of the riots.
Yeah, it all adds up now. So,
anyways, that was mine.
Let me hit you with.
Sorry, I feel
12.
like mine. I'm like dragging out top 12.
Oh no, mate. I mean, me and you. Yeah, top 12, bro. Listen. Ready.
Okay.
Number 1. I'll let you guess. This is by parade.com, so I don't know how legitimate it is. But number 1, he plays golf. Tiger Woods wins the 1997 Masters and hugs his dad. After becoming the youngest Masters winner at 21, bloody hell, 2 years younger than me, what am I doing with my life? And dominating his first major championship win by a staggering 12-stroke margin, Woods embraced his father Earl in an emotional moment that would mark the beginning of his storied career. Number 2, the miracle. Number 2, the Miracle on Ice, as we mentioned earlier. Number 3, Serena.
That is
Williams.
an unreal movie.
Mate,
as well.
Struggling. Sorry, number 3, Serena Williams wins first Grand Slam. One of the greatest athletes of all time, Williams captured her first Grand Slam win as a 17-year-old. What am I doing? At the 1999
That's
US
just unfair.
Open, she credits it for kickstarting her career. Mate, it's not fair.
Yeah,
Number 4, Michael Jordan's final shot.
That would kickstart any career. Ooh.
Number 5, Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier. On April 15, 1947, Robinson becomes the first African American to play in a Major League Baseball game, starting at first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers. And for the Brooklyn Dodgers, and forever changing the complexion of the history of the game. Rumble
That's
in
also
the Jungle,
another good
David,
movie.
What sport's this one?
42. Boxing?
Yeah, boy, he's learning.
Oh!
The history-making boxing event in Kinshasa, Zaire, featured a dethroned Muhammad Ali knocking out heavyweight champ George Foreman in 8 rounds to take back his crown. 8, Mary Lou Retton's perfect 10 before. Yep. 9, Broken Curses. The curse of the Bambino began in 1919 when the Boston Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the New York Yankees and didn't end until 2004 when they won their first World Series in 86 years. 10, Miami Dolphins remain perfect. 11, NC State Cinderella story. 12, President George Bush's first pitch. All right,
That's
so
number
that
12.
seems very American based. Can I just point out?
Surely,
Yeah. This
surely
correct-
they could have come something else than George Bush's first pitch.
Do you know what I mean? Like, not even anything football related for starters, right?
That's
Let's
fine.
see a different
That's
one.
fine. That's no loss. But no NHL. That's the real tragedy here.
No,
There's
there was
miracle.
Miracle.
Well, it's Miracle on Ice, but that's not NHL. That's the States beating Russia, which is, by the way, a great movie. Miracle on Ice.
Yeah.
Great movie.
There
42
you go.
about Billy Robinson. Also a great movie.
And listen, guys, if you want to feed some of your greatest sporting
Ooh.
moments, feed it in. Tell us. We'll post a reel probably, and then we'll let you guys all discuss. And we can
Just in the
actually have a little
comments.
vote. We'll break it down. Oh, I'll create like a little table, and then we'll figure it out. We'll go next stage, knockout stages, then figure it out,
Nice.
and then it'll be like a semi-final. Then
Instead
final,
of quiz of the
bang,
week,
who's gonna
we'll
win.
do that. Would be a good. What we should do is
There you go.
we should switch off quiz, because you were saying you're struggling with questions for quiz of the week, right? And we haven't
Running
done
out of
quiz of the
sports
week.
questions. I might start.
We're running. You haven't done question of the week for a while. I've been like, where is that?
Yeah.
But anyways, neither here nor there. But we could like one Monday or 1 week do quiz of the week, and then the next week do like a question, like what's the best sporting thing, and then like one it's like head to head, and the winner moves on to the next day, and then on Saturday we have a winner.
Yeah.
You know, basically just to get
Make
you
that-
guys
Yeah, we'll do that.
interacting with us. Basically, what we're asking you is to interact
Jesus.
with us.
Yeah, just we need friends, eh? We need friends.
Yeah, we want friends.
But yeah,
We want
there
friends
you
of the
go,
RSS
my boy.
podcast. Yeah,
episode
what a little
30, 31, 32, 33.
whichever one it was, 31. Yeah, I think well next week hopefully, if nothing changes, which it changes all the time, we're going to be talking about part 2 of Hot and Cold, which we're going to talk about hot. So like saunas, baths, hot baths, no ice involved. Nice and warm, nice and comfortable,
once
hot
again-
tubs, saunas, etc.
Yeah. After you
So-
guys have finished this podcast, after you guys have been interacting with us, get ready for some proper heat of a podcast.
Oh,
We'll be smashing
Yeah, yeah. But before we sign off, make sure we really want you to let us know what you think. So make sure you follow us along. Make sure you follow on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. We're there. Twitter. We haven't posted a lot there, but follow us on Twitter. Follow us on YouTube as well. Well, subscribe on YouTube. So if you're listening on YouTube, watching on YouTube, let us know in the comment section. Yeah. Favorite sporting moment? What did you like about the podcast? Favorite moment of the podcast? What do you think about transgender women not being able to compete in the female category? Let us know, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. We just like to know. Make sure you share it. We honestly, how excited do we get when we get emails from people or comments? It makes my day, Matt. When I get an Instagram notification of someone's followed the RSS podcast or commented, I just stop. I stop work and I go run in the streets naked because I'm so excited. And that's why
Mate,
Matt
you
moved
need
Kent.
relax.
But it's fine.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
It is very nice.
I don't do that, but it's very exciting.
Yeah, I know. Mate, whenever we get a follow, I smile and keep my clothes on, and yeah.
Just go about your day as usual. Because you're not invested.
I got this. You know
you
what?
need to be invested, Matt.
Let's go 100, because I know the potential we can reach.
Yeah. So let us know, because we definitely want you to come along. Just share it if you like it. Share it if you like it. Share it to someone who would also like it. Follow along. Get involved. This is the Real Sports Science Podcast, episode 31. Matt, take us out.
This has been the RSS Podcast. We're out.